Inflation hit 9% in July, the highest it's been in 40 years, and it's barely dropped since then. So what will it take to get it under control? Hopefully not what it took the last time this happened, about 40 years ago. To explain, let's go back to the late 70s. Inflation hit 10% and then some after creeping up slowly for years. Now, normally, the Federal Reserve Bank can curb this by raising something called the federal funds rate. Simply put, that makes it more expensive for banks and people to borrow money, so they spend less and inflation goes down. But look, when we add the federal funds rate to the graph, now here in orange, you can see it wasn't working. As the rate crept up, so did inflation. In fact, it went past 12%. Financial expert Paul Schatz said the Fed was being too timid.
The Federal Reserve is almost always either to blame or has their DNA all over some kind of systemic problem.
But that changed big time in August of 1979 when a new Fed chairman named Paul Volcker took over and proceeded to give our economy the equivalent of tough love. He beat inflation by creating a recession, two of them actually, by repeatedly hiking that rate to 20%.
Inflation went down dramatically. The Fed lowered rates, and then into 1982, inflation skyrocketed again. Volcker and the Fed really hammered rates. They went crazy on rates in 81, 82.
And it was painful for Americans, especially because unemployment at the time was at 7%. But it worked. Inflation peaked at about 14% in mid-1980, and 3 years later, look at this, it was back under 3%. So do we need that kind of tough love today? Well, experts disagree, but the Fed has been adamant that they are not trying to cause or worsen a recession. The federal funds rate now is just a little bit over 2%, a far cry from 20, but more raises are coming. We'll just see if they take 3 years to work this time around. I'm Tim Lammers, Fox 61 News.